The national headlines are telling you home prices are falling at the fastest pace in 9 years. Kansas City just closed July with prices up 3.9%. Both of those things are true at the same time. This is your Kansas City market update for August. And if you own a home here or you're trying to buy one, the gap between those two numbers is the whole story of the Kansas City real estate market right now. By the end of this video, I am going to give you the two numbers I'm watching together this fall, not price and not rates. Together, they will tell us 2 or 3 months before the headlines catch on, whether sellers keep the upper hand here or start handing it to buyers. Stay with me, because once you know it, you will check it every month. Here's the plan. First, what is actually happening in the national housing market? Because your feed is full of it, and most of it gets misread. Second, what happened here in July, metro-wide and county by county. And third, the two words that get used interchangeably on the news, inventory and supply. They're not the same thing, and the difference between them explains why prices here keep rising while homes take a little longer to sell. I'm Joe Nelson with the Nelson Home Group at Keller Williams KC North. Let's go. Start with the national story. Realtor.com's June data shows asking prices down 2.5% year over year. That is the steepest annual drop in their data going back to 2017, and the 8th straight month of declines. The median national list price sits at $430,000. Well off the 2022 peak of $449,000. You have seen the headline, and if you're selling, it scares you. So let me be plain about what it actually measures. Asking prices are not sale prices. An asking price is a seller's opinion. A closed price is a fact. What Realtor.com is picking up is sellers getting realistic on day one instead of listing high and cutting later. Their chief economist, Danielle Hale, said sellers are reading market conditions and pricing accordingly from the start, and buyers are taking note and making bids. She called it a welcome sign of a functioning market. Two more national numbers real quick. 463,480 new listings hit the market in June, the strongest spring since 2022. And Redfin says 46% of May sales include a seller concession, the highest May share on record. Rate buydowns, closing costs, repairs. This is the national picture, and hold on to it, because whether a Kansas City buyer has that kind of leverage depends almost entirely on the price range. We'll get there. And national pending sales rose for a 7th straight month. That is not what a housing market crash looks like. It is a market moving. Now here's where the Kansas City real estate market leaves the national script. While national asking prices fell 2.5%, Kansas City closed prices rose 3.9%. Stay with me, because the reason is the most useful thing in the video. July, all of Heartland MLS, both sides of the state line, 3,886 closed sales, up 5.1% over last July. Median sales price at $349,900, up 3.9%. Sellers captured 98.1% of the original price, and that figure already includes any price cuts along the way. Homes averaged 36 days to go under market. And here's a second yardstick that has nothing to do with the MLS. The FHFA, the federal agency that tracks repeat sales of the same home over time, ranks Kansas City 18th out of the top 100 metros, up 3.9% over the past year, while the national average rose 1.7%. That is the first quarter reading. It updates quarterly, and the next refresh comes out this fall. But two completely different measuring sticks landed on the same verdict. And we're not alone up here. St. Louis and Omaha sit 2 spots ahead of us on that same list. The Midwest is the national appreciation story right now. The regions that have been short on homes for years keep climbing, while the Sun Belt markets that led the boom are flattening out. So how do prices rise almost 4% while homes take longer to sell and fewer go under contract? The answer lives in two words that get thrown around like synonyms: inventory and supply. Inventory is a count. At the end of July, there were 8,258 homes for sale across the metro, down 5.2% from a year ago. That is inventory. Supply is speed. It asks, at the pace homes are actually selling, how many months would it take to sell every home on the market right now? Kansas City sits at 2.6 months, down 7.1%, and anything under 3 months is a seller's market. Same grocery shelf, two different questions. How many cans are on it, and how fast are they flying off? If you remember one sentence from the video, remember this. Inventory tells you how many homes are for sale, and supply tells you how fast the market would eat them all. Here's why the difference pays. Johnson County, Kansas, inventory barely moved, down just 2.2%, but supply fell 8.7% from 2 months. The only way supply falls 4 times faster than inventory is if the sales pace speeds up. Johnson County posted 1,025 closings in July, up 4.9%. A median of $505,500, up 5.3%, and sellers there received 100.4% of the original price, over asking as a county-wide average. Falling supply in Johnson County is a demand story. Now flip to Clay County, Missouri, home turf for my team in the Northland. Supply fell 24% to 1.9 months, the tightest of any county in the metro. But it did not get there on demand. It got there because inventory collapsed, down 20% to 633 homes for sale. Closings actually slipped 3.5%, and the July median held flat at $350,000. Falling supply in Clay County is the scarcity story. Both counties end up in the same place, multiple offers on well-priced homes, keyword well-priced. But when I coach a seller in Leawood versus a seller in Liberty, the reason behind the number changes the whole pricing conversation. Now the honest part. One number moved the wrong way in July, pending sales. The homes currently going under contract right now fell 7.4% metro-wide, 3,163 homes versus 3,417 last July. Days on market ticked up from 34 to 36. Johnson County pendings fell 11.3%, and Jackson County fell 11%. That is forward demand, and it dipped. Before anybody panics, year-to-date pendings are still up 4%, so one soft month is not a trend. I think July just hit us hard. But put the prices together and you get the true shape of this market. Fewer buyers stepped up in July, and there were even fewer homes for them to buy. That standoff is exactly why prices still rose. Buyers are rate sensitive and patient, and scarcity is doing the heavy lifting. That combination punishes one mistake more than any other: overpricing. Listen to this number: 69.8% of July's resales sold in the first 30 days on the market, and that share went up 2 points from June. If a listing survives past day 30, the odds it sells in the next 30 days collapse to 15.5%. In Johnson County, 83.5% of resales were gone in the first 30 days. The market grades your price in 1 month and then it moves on. So we price to win the first weekend. We do not price high to leave room to negotiate, because the buyers who would have negotiated never booked the showing. If you're thinking about selling this fall and you want to know what winning the first weekend looks like on your street, call me or shoot me an email. My contact info is below the video, and we've got a strategy. One more honest note: when a small county posts a wild number and Ray County's July median was down 33.8%, check the sample size. That was 27 sales, and year-to-date, Ray County is actually up 1.6%. Small counties swing hard on tiny samples. So where is the business? Price bands, because the metro average hides the real game. My broker breaks down every resale in the metro by price class. And from $240,000 to $600,000, every band in that range is sitting under 1.7 months of supply. The single tightest, $350,000 to just under $400,000 at 1.27 months. Two more bands sit right behind it at nearly the same number, and I will put all three on the screen for you. The busiest of them, $300,000 to just under $350,000. That was at 12% of all July resales by itself. If you're shopping in the low 300s in this metro, you are not negotiating against the seller, you are racing the other buyers. The top of the market plays a different sport. Above 1.5 million, supply runs 4.8 to 4.9 months. Balanced, leaning, buyer friendly. A $1.8 million listing and a $320,000 listing are different games with different clocks. Who actually closed in July? Of 3,579 resale closings, roughly 58% was conventional, 17% cash, 12% FHA, and 285 closed with VA loans, about 8% of the metro. Put FHA and VA together, and about 1 in 5 closings last month use a government-backed loan with a low or zero down payment. As a veteran and a loan originator, hear me on this. If the listing agent tries to steer their seller past your VA offer, you need an agent who knows how to defend it. My team fights for that all the time. For first-time buyers, one more opening this month. The biggest institutional landlords in the country sold 3,011 more homes than they bought last quarter, and investor purchases nationally are at their lowest level since 2020. That money competes hardest under $300,000, which means entry-level buyers are facing less big money competition than they have in the last 6 years. Price is only half of a buyer's monthly payment though. The other half is mortgage rates. The 30-year fixed averaged about 6.4% in the second quarter, and the three major forecasts, Fannie Mae, the MBA, and Wells Fargo, all see it staying close to that level into the middle of next year. A lot of buyers are waiting for rates to fall back under 5%. The honest math, over the last 50 years, the conditions it would take have lined up about 7% of the time. Possible, just unlikely. And the near-term pressure runs the other way. As of late July, the futures market says there's about an 82% chance the Fed raises rates at least once by December. Raises, not cuts. Now, one caveat, your rate is not the average. Credit score, loan size, down payment, property type, all of it moves your number. So run your own scenario on the mortgage calculator on my website, linked below the video. And know the builder lane. Buyers of newly built homes average 5.85% against 6.47% on existing homes because builders buy down the rate. You cannot control the rate market. You can absolutely control the negotiation. Okay, the two numbers I promised you, pending sales and inventory. Pending sales are homes going under contract. So that line measures buyer demand. Inventory is homes sitting for sale. So that line measures how much competition sellers have. In July, both lines fell. Buyer demand dipped 7.4%, but the number of homes for sale fell down to 5.2%. When both fall together, sellers stay in control and prices keep rising. That is exactly what happened this summer. So here's what you do. When the August numbers come out in early September, check those same two lines. If buyer demand drops again, but the number of homes for sale stops dropping, that is the market starting to tip toward buyers. Watch those two lines and you will see the shift months before you ever see it in prices. That pair of numbers is the reason I run this Kansas City market every single month. If we've not met, I'm Joe Nelson. I spent 21 years in the Air Force. I'm a realtor and a licensed mortgage loan originator. I specialize in VA loans and military relocation, and my team, the Nelson Home Group, is the highest rated real estate team on Google in the entire Kansas City metro. I make these videos because I actually want our team to work with you. My contact info is right below the video. And if you're moving to Kansas City, or you know somebody who is, I put together a KC relocation guide that covers the move end to end. Head to my website and sign up and you'll get it for free. If you want the running story of this market, last month's update is on the channel. Kansas City Market Update June 2026. Prices up, no crash coming, here's the data. For the policy side, what Washington wants to do about housing supply, watch Road to the Housing Act. Will Kansas City home prices finally drop? Both videos are linked below. Here's the thing, I make these videos because we do really want to work with you. That's the whole reason we do this. If today's numbers have you ready to put a sign in the yard or just watching that pending line with me, either way, you now understand the Kansas City real estate market better than most of the people talking about it online. When you're ready to put that to work, you know where to find me. I'm Joe Nelson. Let's get to work.